We're live.
Hi.
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 What else do you want to say?
Work your butt off!
No, let's not be aggressive. Hi guys. Welcome to election night yoga, or if you're watching it later, it's just yoga that's, going to be out of date. But even though this is going to be a yoga class to help soothe your nerves on election night, Um, I don't know. What do you think? Is this going to help anybody or
No.
no?
Mm,
Really?
meh.
Oh, well, no matter when you watch this, I hope this class helps soothe your nerves. And do you want to sing your song
Yeah, I want to
before
sing. Which song?
I am a potato?
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Okay, go.
I am a potato doing the Macarena.
You're
I
looking
am
at
a
the monitor. You got to
No,
look
I'm
over
looking
there.
at the camera. I am a potato doing the Macarena. I am a potato doing the Macarena.
All right, you weirdo. Mwah. I love you. Go play. Ah. So, yeah, if you're not watching this on election night, then what we're trying to do is pretend like it's not election night or that the election's over and that we can, um, no matter what side you're on, yoga's bipartisan. So I just hope that we can all uh, calm down a little bit once this thing is over. But I thought it would be a great idea to practice tonight and take it easy and maybe sort of I think I might try to just sort of describe a little bit of my working process when I am practicing yoga and why I practice yoga. But the last thing I want to say, and then we're going to start, guys, is my passionate love for yoga. So there's only one thing in the world that I truly love more than yoga, and that's my daughter. And it's not by a lot. Like, on some days, yoga is, it's like that. No, I'm just kidding. You know I'm kidding, right? But no matter what the stressful situation is, no matter what the heartbreak is, no matter what the traumatic shift in life is, um, yoga has been the great healer for me. And I truly mean that. And I truly believe that. And if you're here, I know you believe it too. So hopefully you got your mat rolled out because I'm going to step over. And maybe that's how you're feeling right now. Fuck. Maybe you're feeling like that. That is my oh, you can't see it. Sorry guys. That was lame. Let's try this again. That's my stuffy. His name's Boozy Bunny. Maybe that's how you feel. Right? I get it. So, if you're onto your mat, then I want you to just sit in the center facing a long edge. Place your hands on your thighs, hero's pose, or you can be seated in Sukhasana, whatever works for you. However you're seated is fine. But I want to begin just by taking some mindful breath. So when you're ready, rest your palms on your thighs. Lift the collarbones away from the thighs and relax the shoulders away from the earlobes. Close the eyes and level the jaw. And relax the jaw without your mouth falling open. And without trying to change or deepen your breath, just become observant of it. Place your right palm on the mat to your right. Reach your left hand into the air. And slowly lean to your right hand. Reach your left hand up and over. And then begin to engage the front of the shins against the mat, lifting your butt off your heels. Try to reach for that short edge of your mat. Left hand reaching over right shoulder for the right edge. And then we're slowly going to sit back down. Place your left hand on your mat to the left of your hip. Reach your right hand up into the air. Now keep your butt seated on your heels and just plant that left palm firm. Reach your right hand up and over. When you can't reach any further across with your right hand, lift your butt. And as your butt goes up, see if that arc can bring your hand down a little bit closer to that short edge of your mat to the left. And place your butt gently back down on your heels. And we're going to turn our hands to the top of the mat. And kneeling in a traditional stance or a traditional orientation, the shorter top edge of your mat, chest forward. We're going to again resume that hero position. And I'm going to switch to the front. Now lower your right ear to your right shoulder. But I want you to also be mindful of trying to draw your left armpit down towards your left hip. And now left ear to left shoulder. And when you feel that expanse on the right side of your neck starts to become the expanse underneath your armpit, then tighten that right armpit down to the hip a little bit. And then come back to center. All right, let's plant our hands and come into a downward facing dog. We're going to work through the shoulders and into the hips. Maybe we'll work into a pigeon position, something semi-challenging with lots of options. Bend your knees, push your heels into the floor one at a time. This is just another damn day, guys. There's nothing special or super critical about it. It's just another day. Inhale to a plank. Exhale your chest to the floor. Push back up. Press back into down dog. Again, inhale chest forward. Exhale chest touches the mat. Come all the way down, guys. Push up and press back. One more time. Inhale heart over thumbs. Exhale heart to the thumbs. Push up and press back. Now step your feet just a little bit wider and begin to turn your heels to the left. Reach your right hand up. As your right hand reaches up, step your right foot to the outside of your left thigh and turn your chest to the ceiling. We're going to lower the hips, plant the right hand, flip back over, and then do the same thing on the other side. We're going to take the left foot, step over the right leg, and turn the chest to the ceiling, possibly the hips. Don't focus so much on what your feet are doing. Plant your left hand, plant your left foot. We're going to go back to the left, reach up with your right hand, and flip to the right. And flip back over. And step left foot back, reach left hand up. Plant the left hand. We're going to do one more set, guys. Step right foot over, reach right hand up, turn the body to the ceiling. Plant the right hand, plant the right foot. Step over, reach up with the left hand, turn the chest, turn the hips, and back in a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, open your hip, bend your knee. Exhale, step forward. Inhale your chest forward. Exhale, push your butt back, straighten your right leg. Maybe let your left knee bend. If you want to see that from the side, that looks like that. Come forward and step back. Touch your chest, push up, press back. Lift your left leg up, step forward. Take a moment to just pull your chest forward. I'll go back to the front here so you can see you're trying to drive your left knee over the top edge of your mat. Your left heel can lift, that's fine. And then slowly push back. Left leg straightens. Right knee bends, lift the right heel. Again, from the side, my left leg is diagonal to the earth. My right shin's parallel to it. My right thigh is perpendicular to it. And then come forward, reach up with your left hand. I might not have done that twist on the first side. I can't remember. Reach down, step back, touch your chest, push up, press back. Lift your right leg. Exhale, step forward. Push your chest against your shirt, pull your hips towards your right heel, and then push back. Right leg straightens. Reach up with the right hand, come forward into that low lunge, and reach up right hand high. Plant the right hand, step back, touch your chest, push up, and press back. Lift your left leg up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale your chest over the top edge of your mat. Exhale, push your butt back. Left leg straight, right knee bends. Come forward, reach your left hand up. Plant the left hand, step the left foot back. Touch your chest to the ground, push up, and press back. Lift your right leg up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, chest forward, hips low. Exhale, push back, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. Come forward, reach the right hand up, inhale. Exhale, plant the right hand, step back, touch your chest, push up, press back. Last one, guys. Lift your left leg. Exhale, step. Chest forward, breathe in. Push back, straighten the left leg, bend the right knee. Come forward, reach up with the left hand. Exhale, plant the hand, step back, touch the chest, push, and press. Lower the knees. Sit to the heels. Lay your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. And begin to gather your breath through your nose. The heart is a muscle, but not a voluntary muscle, but it can be influenced. So through movement, our heart rate increases. And when we use the breath, we influence the heart rate to slow down. This is the first influence that we should be working to gain. Influence over ourselves, not over others. We all got plenty of work to do. All right, guys, let's get into some work. Step your right foot forward into a knight's position. Reach your hands up. Come into a high lunge. Press into the ball of your back foot. Lift the left heel. Slide thumbs over ears. Look up at the ceiling. Point your elbows to what you're looking at. And use your spine to push your heart to where your elbows are pointing. Put a little more weight in the right heel and see if you can't slow the movement of the right heel down. Lift the left heel, press firmly into the ball of the left foot, and then try to drag the left foot forward. Nice work, guys. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lower the left knee down. Sit back to the left heel, right leg straight. First, pull the toes and the foot back, and then try to plant your foot in front of you. Pull the foot back, and try to plant it flat in front of you. One more time. Dorsiflex. And push down into dorsi. Now come forward. And toe heel your right foot right. Inhale your chest over the top edge of your mat. And as you exhale, drive your left knee into the mat and push your butt back, bowing to the left thigh. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, push back and bow. Inhale, come forward. Last one, guys, and we're going to see how much we can hold, how much we can breathe. You can step your hands out wide. This looks a lot like a classic 70s Spider-Man pose. You could also maybe plant your elbows on the center of your mat, on the inside of your right heel. Now, if you're bowing your heart to the inside of your right knee, you're doing it. And the question only becomes, what does that cause you to feel? Because for me, I'm feeling a lot in my right adductors and my medial hamstring, sort of the inside and inside back of my right thigh. And wherever you are and whatever you're feeling, just tap into that breath. Because it's the breath and the awareness of body, the awareness of space. It has such a magical power, magical healing power. One of my favorite lessons that it's always teaching me is, you got this, you got this. If you can bear what you're doing on your mat and breathe and be calm, you can handle a lot. Let's go ahead and plant those hands. Step back into downward facing dog. Press the heart back towards the feet. See if you can slide your mat forward with your hands. And when you find that you can't, you will find that you're drawing your collarbones long from the wrists and drawing the heart back. Lower the knees. And step the left foot forward into knight's pose. So since I don't know the level of anyone's practice, I try to avoid those moves that might be hard to follow if you're really new. So some of my classes seem like they go too fast, maybe some might seem a little boring. Hopefully I created good enough balance. Now here, we're just going to lunge forward, and right knee comes up. Hands come up. We do this all the time, right? How many of these do you think you've done? I mean, just on the left leg, and then double that. But the only one that matters is this one. Slide thumbs over ears. Now keep those elbows in close where you can easily see them in the periphery. Instead of going wide where you can't see your elbows, let's hug them in. And then think about using the hands on the sides of the head to tilt the head up, instead of the head pushing the fingers back. As you ground through the ball of your right foot, think about pulling your hip bones away from your elbows and your elbows away from your hip bones. And gently release. And isn't it great? I'm not gonna kill your guys' butts today. We're gonna take those hands back down and the knee back down. Sit back to the heel and pull the toes back, and then try to plant the foot flat. Pull the foot back and try to plant it. You're trying to plant it without bending the knee, okay? pull the toes back and plant the foot. Nice. Let's come forward and take that left foot a little bit left. Inhale forward. Exhale, push back. Come forward. And push back. Bowing to the right thigh. Come forward as you breathe in. And push back. If you can, bring your elbows down or step your hands wide, come onto the fingertips, and bust a good Spider-Man. Remember, it's never wrong to wiggle around a little bit. You could make a good argument for both. Sometimes you want to wiggle around to see where you can actually create more of an opening, more of an opportunity in the myofascia. See what can't release. Sometimes you want to be really still. Like a glass pond. Isn't it great that there's not right and wrong ways to do yoga? There's just different ways. Now, don't think I'm going to go down a fucking metaphorical rabbit hole right there. But as far as election night, that's a good one, right? All right, guys. Let's come on up. Plant the hands. And step back in a downward facing dog. Move around a little bit. Or be still. Because it's your choice. Now remember, we're not waiting for instructions on the next pose. We're breathing and experiencing the one we're in. Let's bring those knees down. Sit to the heels. Point your toes behind you. This is pretty simple, really. Reach up with your right hand. Place your left hand on the floor behind your butt. And reach back. And lift your butt off your heels. Lower your butt to your heels and lower your right hand. Your right hand comes behind you. Your left hand goes up. Begin to press down into the tops of the feet. Driving the hips forward from the right palm. Release. 2 more sets. Left hand behind you. And just play around with how your left hand is situated. Are your fingers pointing behind you, out to the side? Maybe fingers pointing at toes. Play around with that. Lift your butt, reach up and back. Lower your hips. Plant the right hand behind you. Just plant it mindfully. Reach your left hand up and back. And bring the hips back down. We're going to do 1 more set. Right hand reaches up and back. Bring the hips back down. Left hand reaches up and back. Drive the hips forward. And release. Plant the hands, lift the knees, down dog. Take the right leg up into the air. Bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, step between your thumbs. Turn your left heel down. Come into warrior 2. I like to close my eyes. And feel my feet. Straighten the right leg, come into triangle. Reach the right hand over the top edge of the mat. Guide the back of the hand to the inside of the calf. Reach the left hand up. Remember, your head isn't stuck. Think about looking down at your right foot and then up again at your left hand. Just by turning your head, your body has to make a lot of micro, small adjustments. All those adjustments might give you a nice little pop in your back. I think I'm on about pop number 6 or 7 now. Take one more deep breath. As you exhale, bring the left hand down to the right foot, bend the right knee, and toe heel right foot left, coming into the pigeon. So bring your right foot as close to your left hand as you can. And if your foot isn't cooperating, you could try stepping or sliding your left knee back. You also want to, as much as you can, try to create the feeling that you're trying to slide your right knee back as you press your left knee down. Let's oscillate through this by breathing in and allowing the hips to soften towards the calf. Maybe even look up at the ceiling or the eyebrows. And as you exhale, we're not going to necessarily round the back so much as we're going to try to press down into the knees and the top of the right foot. Breathe in, relax the hips towards the heel. Eyes go up. Exhale, push down into the right leg and the left knee. One more time, guys. Allow the hips to soften and the eyes to slide up and then push down. Now let's take the elbows down. And again, little movement or absolute stillness. What's going to work for you? Do that. Tune to the breath. The ironic trick in this practice is to think about what you're not thinking about. And if you want a big hint, it's usually the body, the breath, the moment. It's usually one of those 3 things when the mind starts to drift away. You can stay here, friends, or bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand. Pressing the palm to the top of the foot, encouraging the heel towards the sitting bones or the sacrum. And again, if you want to activate and oscillate through this, push down into the right leg from the knee down and into the left knee. And then relax. And maybe you press the knees down and press the heel to the sacrum and then relax everywhere. Maybe you oscillate those 2 things. Just choose to be in your body and aware of your body. Release. Now coming on to the hands, let's do one more thing before we finish up this side. And that's to bend the left knee and see if we can't capture with the left hand. If you feel the energy and the mobility's there, you can plant that right hand on the thigh. And maybe you're still here, and that's great too. Let's press back in a downward facing dog. And it doesn't matter if you're still or if you're moving. It's not where your body's at and what your joints are doing so much as what your head's doing. Lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, step softly to the inside of the left thumb, plant the right heel down. Warrior two. Direct your eyes to where your chest is facing instead of over the left hand. And perhaps try turning the palms up instead of down. And one more thing to maybe guide us into a little bit more softness. Open up the fingers. Like you're letting a month or a year's worth of bullshit just fall out of your hands. Feel grateful and excited when you feel a muscle burning. Challenge equals growth. Let's take it to triangle, guys. Straighten the left leg. Reach the left hand forward and back of the hand to inside of calf. Right hand up. Tighten right side body to lengthen left. Press into the bottom of the left big toe. And then use your left foot to push your right hip back. But then pull the right hip towards the right armpit. It's just a constant rechecking. Just as we oscillate movement, we oscillate awareness. How's that hip? How's that leg? How's that arm? How's that head? One more nice deep breath. Release. Plant the hands. And slide left foot right. Maybe pull left toes forward or step left knee back. Maybe draw right knee in. Now before we bring the elbows down, let's just pulse a little bit. And when you breathe in, let your hips soften. And when you exhale, press down into the knees and into the top of the left foot. Inhale, soften the hips, lift the heart and the head. Exhale, press down into the legs. It's almost like the legs are trying to bite the center of your mat. One more time, guys. Inhale. Heart lifts, so do the eyes. Exhale. The knees driving down drives the hips up. Elbows down. Move around or return to that stillness. See if the sound of your breathing becomes more soothing to your body. Just take a moment to listen to it. Stay here, or if you wish, bend your right knee, reach back with your left hand. And again, you can oscillate here, or just hold the pose and breathe. But if you join me for what I was doing on the first side, when you press the heel to the sacrum, press the knees down. It's like a dimmer switch instead of an on-off switch, right? You can brighten it, you can dim it. Now let's bring those hands back onto the mat, and let's try to grab the right foot with the right hand. And no matter what it looks like for you guys, just deepen your breath, breathe through your nose. Release. Let's do one more downward facing dog. And feel free to move any way around you wish. Throw in any poses that I haven't suggested yet. Knees down, sit to the heels. You'll remember this one from earlier. Plant your left hand behind your left foot. Reach your right hand up. Just a little bit quicker now. Inhaling, reaching up and back, driving the hips forward. Release. Right hand behind you. Left hand reaches up. Take a big breath and reach back. Exhale your body down. Switch sides. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your fingers at the top edge of your mat, and we're going to come back into a pigeon position with the legs. Bend the left knee, reach back with the left hand, and if you can't capture your foot, you could always lasso it with a towel. The objective isn't to get to here or any steps beyond. It's to get to a place where you've challenged your body and challenged your body's ability to breathe through what you're asking it to do. You can reach up with your left hand. Your right. Place it on the top of your head, the back of your head, or maybe reach back and find the other hand. I have to deal with this thing so I can switch cameras, and that messes me up. Okay. Wherever you are, take one more deep breath. Release. Step back. Push your butt back into down dog. And bring your knees back down. Let's switch sides. Slide the left knee to the thumb and kick the foot out to the right. And I usually, if I know that I'm going to go into more of a royal pigeon, I don't want that right knee so far back, but maybe you do. It depends on how much range you have in your right hip flexor. So if you have limited range, you can get there by bringing right knee forward, right? Just keep playing around with it, because what we need to do is first have open hip flexors and lengthen quads, open shoulders and heart. Take this to whatever your end range is. Your ed range. Your ed range is the distance you are to your favorite person named Ed. Release. Press back one more time. And knees back down. Let's take the knees wide out to the long edges. Bring the feet in. And we're just going to take a moment for child's pose. Plant those hands in front of you. Rest your forehead on the center of your mat. Listen to your breath. If you've been following along with this practice, it's a good bet that your skin is warm. There's sweat on your forehead. Take a moment to feel grateful to your past self that was willing to endure that suffering so that your future self gets the benefit. Thank you, past self. You're awesome. And then mentally high five yourself. And let's come forward. Cross the ankles or come into any best seated position. And extend the right leg out. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to do. Let's go. You got 2 more minutes? You got 2 more minutes, right? Before we cut this thing? Yeah, I got that kid. I got a kid to feed back there. All right. This looks like wait a second. You got to see this from the side, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. This looks like you're chilling at the beach, right? I got my right hand behind me and my right leg straight. So I'm just going to turn that right foot out, reach the left hand up, and drive. Trying to let a big dog walk underneath you without shedding on your cute yoga clothes. And release. Yeah, that felt right. Now bring that left knee down. And capture your right foot with your right hand. This is sort of my default ending. It hits most of the spots that I typically tend to work, and I tend to work a lot more balance and oblique strength. Now grab your right foot, left hand on your left knee. Draw your heart to your left knee until your right butt cheek is no longer making contact with the floor, but it hasn't gone far. Begin to rotate your shoulder girdle from your tailbone, turning your chest to the left and looking over your left shoulder. Now fire through the right thigh and drive the right heel forward. And when you feel that resistance in your right hand, pull with the right shoulder. For more, lower your right ear to your right shoulder or right collarbone. Release. Slide your right foot back and capture the right knee on the inside of the left foot. Place your right hand behind you. Draw your belly off your thigh for a moment. Turn the chest. Lift the heart. Ground through the sitting bones. And hug your right leg to your left side body as you turn. And release. Now let's go chilling at the beach again. Left hand behind you, left leg straight. Turn the left toes out and just drive into the right heel, and then maybe even into the ball of the foot and lift the right heel. Reach up and over. And create that length from the ball of your right foot to the index finger of your right hand. And drive the hips up for that big dog to walk under. Release. Lower the right knee down. And grab the left foot with the left hand. Right palm on the right knee. Turn the heart to the right knee, draw it down until the left glute just peels off of your mat. And then push your right knee down with your right arm. Drive through the left thigh. Pull at the left shoulder. And maybe try to get left ear to the left shoulder, collarbone. Turn a little bit more. Keep the breath available. And release it. Slide the right foot back. Capture the knee. Squeeze it in. Plant the left hand. Now pull the belly button off your right thigh. Maybe that's just me, huh? Maybe that's just my problem. You can just call me Guy Dad Bod. Lift through the crown of the head and ground through the sitting bones. And then just rotate the shoulders. Feel where the shoulder and the clavicle become the head of the arm. And just screw that to the left while grounding and lifting through the head. And hug that left leg into the right rib. Release. Nice work, guys. Lie down on your back. And step your feet back so your feet are planted and your knees are pointing at your ceiling. Place your palms on the floor next to your hips, palms down. And I want you to think about yourself in a stadium, like a football stadium. And I think we can all agree, just for the sake of history, that the big winner this week was the Denver Broncos. Way to go, Broncos. But think of this as like doing the wave in a football game, okay? Only you don't have to get up out of your seat. So what I want you to do is drive your heels into the ground, lift your butt, reach your hands up and over your head until your hips are driven forward and up, and the back of your hands is on the floor above your head. And then as you exhale, sit back down like the wave had passed you at the football game. Here it comes around again. Inhale, lift your hips, reach your hands up and back. Go Broncos! Exhale, lower your hips and your hands. Here comes that wave. Inhale, lift your hips, reach up and back. Go yoga! Exhale, lower your hips and your hands. Remember, yoga's bipartisan, guys. Inhale one more time. Go, Krishnamacharya. Exhale. Lower your hips and your hands. Draw your right knee to your chest. Pull that thigh down to the belly. And then capture your right big toe in the peace fingers of your right hand. And drive the heel towards the ceiling. Then you can always oscillate at pulling the shoulder blade back onto the floor and then pushing through the heel. If we're really active in that sort of energetic circuit, it'll often give us shaking as we're going through the oscillation. And then you'll notice that there's a place where you don't shake. Maybe that's not an issue for you. Maybe it's just an issue for an old man. And then release. Let's switch leg, guys. We're almost done. Grab your left big toe in the peace fingers or quote fingers of your left hand. And then begin to drive through the left heel. And then hug the left shoulder blade back onto the floor when you feel it's been pulled off by the extension of the knee. And it becomes a little bit of a tug of war, so just allow that energetically in your body, that handkerchief floating over the mud, just going back and forth. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Oops. See, now we're thinking about the election, and I worked so hard to try to avoid it this whole fucking time. You notice I didn't say shit about it. See, we could do this. Go ahead and lower that left foot down. Slide your legs out straight. Reach both hands up and back. Now imagine you're on one of them medieval racks and you're just being pulled in half. So reach, slide those fingernails as far away from your feet as you can. Drive through your heels. And then release. Bring your arms to rest at your sides with your palms up. And I want to invite you into Shavasana. Whether you watch this live or you watch this 2 years from now, I hope you enjoyed practicing. Hope you feel good in your body. But if you are still lying down and relaxing, remember, you can always shut this off and stay here for a while. Maybe I'll just try to, tiptoe out the door. But I do want to leave you with this one thought. Political point of views should never prevent us from having friends who don't have the same views as us. Good night, Cleveland. Bless you guys. Namaste.